Hi, welcome back to the Jac and Glen channel. I'm Jackie.
I'm her husband, Glenn.
He's my husband, Glenn.
Hey, before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our reviews. In this case, so you don't miss any of our interviews.
Yes.
Yes.
It's on and popping again.
Yeah. Tonight, we got a very special guest on tonight from Ready to Love Season 3. A very good gentleman, none other than David. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing wonderful. How y'all doing?
You're doing well.
Doing well, man. Doing well. Before we even get into the Ready to Love situation and the Ready to Love, let our listeners and our fans know who's David.
Who's David? Who's David? That's a good question. Sometimes I gotta ask myself that too. Like, who are you? Well, I tell you what. I tell you a little bit about me. I'm just a Southern gentleman that's out here trying to make a living and respected any and everybody at all times. But in the process of that, just living my life to the fullest.
No, that's good, man. How did you live your life to the fullest? How did you end up on Ready to Love?
Well, I had some friends mention it. They said different things. They was like, hey, they looking for people, man. You need to go ahead and get on there and go for it. I mean, you might find love, you might not. All you do it. I mean, what's the worst that happen? You find it or you don't. So I had a lot of friends push me to do it, and then of course I ended up hearing from some of the crew, the talent, the casting crew, which they reached out to me as well and said that, oh, you seem like you'd be a good fit.
Oh, okay. And how did they say they found out about you? Like, was it an audition? Did you send something in?
It was, like I said, round the way. I think they also reached out to like a friend or two of mine that ended up actually declining because I guess they didn't know that he was married. So he was like, no, I'm gonna send you the right person. You got the wrong one right here. So once that happened, I just pretty much gave it a try.
Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna back up just a little bit because you told us about who you are, David, a gentleman. And so how did David grow up? What kind of upbringing did David have?
Very, very Southern, church going, family oriented. Excuse my French, but you get your ass whipped when you do wrong. It ain't none of this, oh no, don't do that. No, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Because you had to get right. But just pretty much my upbringing with my family and how, my mother, my father. My father was also, he was a pastor. So that's what's making me as well.
Oh, your PK, church kid.
Oh.
So I know the word.
Oh yeah, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. You in good company because you talking to two PKs right here.
So,
family. What's his name? Kirk Franklin said family.
Yeah, definitely that upbringing where you go get your own switch when you do something wrong.
Yeah,
you know what time it is.
And you got that big mama that braid them together.
Yeah.
You ain't never seen a hand move that fast.
No, sir.
Hit them legs, get the little whelps on the legs. You know what time it is. It hurt for a little bit.
You shouting.
I bet you won't do it no more, though. I bet you won't do it no more.
Oh no. You ain't got to worry about that.
All right. So then as some of your friends recommended you for this show, suggested you go out for it, and they reached out to you. Did you know any of the other participants before going on the show?
No, I actually didn't. That was what was strange because you think you know everybody, like you've met pretty much everybody in the city that you could possibly, And of course, I get there. Now, don't get me wrong, we kind of knew some of the same people, but it may have been one guy that I knew. I think that was it. It was like only just like one guy that I actually knew. And we pretty much, we didn't even know we were going to be there. He didn't know I was going to be. I didn't know he was going to be there. And then all of a sudden, we all come out, and I'm like, what you doing?
Right.
He looking at me. I'm looking at him. So, as a matter of fact, that was Raymond.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
when you first got to the house, they did the special. They got to the house. They see you coming in. You coming in with the hat, and you chilling. You smooth. You clean. You coming in. Uh, who did you have an eye on at first when you first came in there? Was anybody there when you got there? That
They had a few of them. I think Joy was already out. Denise was out. I came out probably a little after them. Yeah, so it probably may have only been about 5 people out, 4 or 5 people, and because I think Edwin was out as well. Yeah, so I just pretty much came out like you say, the country fly guy. And it was like, man, we ain't never seen a look country but fly though.
Right.
So, I came out and just pretty much I sat back because we were at the mixer. And I just mainly waited my opportunity to meet, the rest of the ladies, everybody else that also came out, the fellas, I met them. But then we had 1 or 2 that came out, and I kind of like, oh, okay, it's getting good now. So yeah. As a matter of fact, you had, Alex came out. That was, of course, everybody keep going there with me with that one with Alex. So, Adriana came out, Naya, Winter. So we all kind of had our little, everybody had their little likes here, certain ones that they kind of kept following, kept looking for. Like, all right, where's she at? Who's she talking to?
Right. And so who's that for you? Who was your, when I came there, like, okay, I'm going to talk to this one right here.
Well, I actually spoke with, who was it? Actually, let's just say I had more conversation with Alex than I did anyone else, which a lot of people didn't get to see that part. But
right.
we had a lot of conversation. It was good. It was good talk, good conversation.
Mm-hmm. So Alex was up at the forefront. And anybody else?
Me and Denise, we talked a little bit as well. Me and Danny talked a lot, which y'all were able to witness that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, me and Danny, we was actually real cool, and I hated to see her leave first. Cause who knows, what could have happened as if she'd still been there too. So let me see who else did I really? Yeah, I was pretty much Danny, Alex. Like I just really Denise. Had a little time with them, good time talking to them.
Okay. And so you said everybody's been going there with you. So I'm going to go ahead and go there. So you said Alex kind of suited your fancy initially. You didn't get a chance to go further in the show with her. But we come to the reunion and surprise! David and Alex.
Everybody loves a good surprise.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Oh, we loved it. We loved it. So how did that happen?
I mean, I think somebody was snooping around and they were paying attention and caught word that me and Alex had, hung out a couple times here and there, this and that. So of course they put it out there. So it was like it's only right for me to go ahead and just let it be known.
Might as well.
Might as
well let it be known.
Absolutely.
So did y'all ever go out on that date? That we saw the reunion. You said we can go out, go on a date. So did y'all ever go out on that date?
Actually, we haven't made it to that date yet.
What?
We still friends. We still cool. We still talk every once in a while. Hey, who knows?
Oh wow! So you just shocked me with that. Y'all
it's not. We friends. So
right.
It's nothing just too serious or nothing like that. But it's nothing against her. Nobody has a problem with. We good.
Right. And so
we haven't made it to that date yet.
Yeah. I'm sure to come.
Sometimes we all know, hey, patience is a virtue. We just never know. Hey,
absolutely.
You never know. You gotta take your
time. Patient.
Absolutely. What else you got?
And not with that. With Alex there, and with the other girls there, and I think the biggest issue, that even at the reunion, you wasn't there for a lot of stuff that you heard.
Right.
Were you surprised when you heard a lot of the things that happened after you went home?
Right.
Or when you watched it?
I had no idea a lot of things were going on. I was just like, wait, what? So of course you see in my face, and I'm like,
yeah.
So all of this went on after I left. I had no idea, no clue whatsoever.
Yeah, because we saw your facial expression. You was like, man, I didn't know that went on. I didn't know this went on.
Yeah, I'm telling you, shocked me, shocked the world.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And I think the biggest shock that we all had when Alicia came to the reunion was that she was pregnant. Sis was pregnant on the show. I think we could have bought and sold all of y'all for a nickel that day.
Yeah, I think everybody was like, what?
And I went home behind part of that, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
right. Did anybody have an inclination that she was pregnant? Did you?
Nobody knew. Nobody knew.
So she did a good job, very good job hiding it.
She did do that. She did do that. Absolutely. Nobody knew.
Wow.
So do you think the question that sent you home was a loaded question because she was already pregnant?
In a way, I think it was more or less like, you know why you're asking me this. You know what I'm saying? You're asking me for a reason because you already know that it's going to be a little more than just me, you, and
right.
The kids that you have now. We got another one on the way too. So It's like, nah, you got to step it up. And I'm like, let me get to know you. I don't even know you like that first. And, like I explained to everybody else is that, women, not all women are the same. You have women that handle things way different, from others. Same as with men. But when I say that because you have women that won't even let you meet their kids for 2-3 months.
Right.
You even bringing that up about your kids, like, no, they don't even. It's just more or less, are we even gonna like each other? Are you gonna like me? Am I gonna like you before we even move forward? So I think that's what I was trying to basically explain, to the viewers, that I'm not just jumping out there like that, and you're not about to put these expectations on me when you don't even know how far we're gonna get. You know? So we might not even like each other while you're already jumping the gun and saying, oh, so you're gonna take, yes, of course, if we become that, yes, I am, yes, I will be there. It doesn't matter. Yes, I've dated women with kids, so I don't have a problem with a woman with kids. I don't have a problem at all. And yes, I will step up to the plate, but don't just come in with all these expectations like, oh yeah, you're gonna, because then when you flip it around, let's just say I got two and then I got one on the way, and I'm telling you this, oh yeah, you're gonna feel some type of way. You don't even have kids.
Right.
Woman gonna look at you like, what, fool? Like, nah, it ain't happening.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a double standard because you take somebody, we mentioned Raymond earlier who had 5. Everybody talked about that.
Right, and that's where it went back to Raymond. Exactly.
Right. I think it was a double standard. So are y'all gonna mess with Raymond? Because everybody said, nah, man, you got 5 kids. I ain't gonna mess with. Even Nia was like, nope, I'm not dealing with you. You got 5 kids. But nobody gave her a bad rap because of that. But you as a man got the bad rap with the women because you said, nah, I don't know about that. And it was in context. We're just dating. We're not even at the step of marriage, engagement yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's basically like I didn't even get a fair chance when it came down to, because it's like, hold on, and that's why I felt like at the reunion, no, I will be heard. So,
oh yeah,
right.
Like I am going to clear this up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it was that double standard that was there, and I think you got the raw deal on that.
Right.
So you said you've dated women with kids before. So how did that work? How did you handle it? How did the kids? I found that sometimes when people get into relationships, they have kids. You're dealing with the woman, but you have to deal with the kids, and sometimes the kids can be a handful.
Well, I did an interview with someone, and I told them that I don't do badass kids. Like, if you can't control your kids, we definitely not gonna get anywhere. Because I'm not going to come in and just try to tell you how to raise your kids. I'm not gonna do that. But if you don't have control of your kids, that's a problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
you can't problem.
Yeah, you can't expect me to come in and be the disciplinarian. You got to have some discipline before I get there.
Before I get there.
Yeah.
Do I have a problem? No, I don't have a problem with leading the way, giving them some guidance and saying, well, look, and that goes back to the whole gentleman thing, because you have a lot of women raising little boys, young men, but not really knowing everything that it consists of, as far as that. So then they miss out on that side of it.
That's a good point that you made, because sometimes they might not have a male influence, and you have the opportunity to be that male influence in their life as long as they're willing to receive it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And with that being said, you're the gentleman of Houston. That's your tag on Instagram. You're
Oh
the
yeah.
gentleman.
Oh
You're
yeah.
a gentleman. And I guess a lot of our viewers want to know why was it so? How come you was on the show in the first place? Why haven't you found love prior to Ready to Love?
I mean, that can be. We all go through things, and the thing is, like, I've tried regular dating, going out, meeting people. I've tried online dating. Meet people, and I'm not gonna even say that it's me, and I'm not gonna say that it's that person, but I just say I feel like, as we all know, it's just God's timing. And I mean, but I took a chance to go on Ready to Love to see if it may be there. Who knows? I done tried everything else. Why not try this? Let's see.
Right.
But I did. I met some wonderful people, if nothing else.
You know, and since you've been back, you've been a darling on Instagram and social media. People have been loving you. How can you differentiate now who's there for you as being, David, or who's there because of David from Ready to Love?
Oh man, it's you be surprised. The same love I used to get, it has done a whole shift. I get, okay, so like Facebook used to be my number one go-to. Like, they loved me. I could post a picture. I'm getting, 300-400 likes on the picture, all of that. Instagram, I was only getting maybe 25 likes or something like that. Probably 1 or 2 comments. Now the people on Facebook, they showing their true colors, and then the ones on Instagram.
Got you.
Yes, I'm back. Y'all can see me?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, we got you.
Okay. So I know what I was saying was like, and then the ones on Instagram showing mad love,
Wow.
and it's crazy because I noticed all of this. It's not that and to a certain extent, it bothers me because it's a lot of people that I've dealt with for years on Facebook for sure. Because that kind of started, as a family thing, and it was like family, family, family. Then you had these other friends that became, right along with the family,
Right.
once I joined Facebook. So it's like, and I know them personally as well. So being that you see them now is totally different because it's like, y'all not the same. Like, it's just not the same. So what I've learned to do is how they say, go where you're wanted and not where you're tolerated.
Right.
So I go where I'm wanted versus being tolerated.
I get that.
Yeah, I definitely get that. I definitely understand that. Especially just again, you're siphoning through or going through who is real, who's phony, who's here with this. And, I don't need this DM pic. I don't need that. This is not the type of person I can bring home to mama.
Oh, I bet your
Right.
DMs
Oh,
are
no,
blowing up. Them DMs is blowing up.
Yeah.
I know they are.
I haven't even, like, it's a lot that I hadn't even seen, haven't checked. Like, I've just been like, it's too much. It's overwhelming. I will say that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something about, I mean, it's something about just being a nice looking guy anyway. And then you get the little notoriety from being on TV.
Right.
Yeah. And that makes some women do a little bit something extra. Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you.
especially being a gentleman. You got that gentleman, that Southern gentleman twang with you, and you come off real respectful. Even now, in today's society, how are you sharing that with other people, young men or people that you deal with in your life?
Well, once again, as I said in another interview, I'm a firm believer because I knew I get it put on me, So like, I tell anybody, like these young guys, like, man, look, pull your pants up because we already being looked at a certain way. Clean yourself up, look presentable. Your first impression is everything. you know. And if you can, I mean, I'm not the best speaker, but at the same time, I mean, try to, you know, your speech when you speak to people, you know, try to speak clear, try to, you know, even I mess up words and I have to come back and correct myself, but I know that that is something that I can be better in, of course, when I'm talking to people. So I mean, have respect for people. So that's one of the things that I really value, like the respect. I'm big on that.
Gotcha. And back to Ready to Love real quick. When you got eliminated, it was Denise who delivered the news to you in your elimination. How
Bye,
did
King.
Right, right. Nah.
bye? How did you take that? You know, when you was walking off and you was leaving, how did that? You know, how did you take that?
I was a little frustrated. I was like, really? Like, really? So this how you gonna do me?
Right, right.
Right.
You gonna do me?
I don't deserve this.
You know, did you feel betrayed by some of the women that you have built relationships with? Because you know, it was I don't know what the vote number was, but it was like, man, at this time it was down to you, and I can't remember who the other person was at the time. But um, did you feel like betrayed because you went home too early?
Right. And I'm gonna tell you about that. So what a lot of people didn't know and a lot of stuff that they didn't see. Now you had 10 women, of course. Probably 6 to 7 out of the 10 already had me as like one of their favorites. But when it came, but when it came, how it came, you know, it was just kind of like, wait a minute, now somebody lying.
Right.
Like that man.
Like, how am I going home before this person, that person, this person?
Right.
Something ain't right.
Like that
So
math
I'm
don't
like,
add up, right?
who gonna be there for me? Who gonna stand up for me? You know, what
Right.
about how I feel?
Right, right.
Like, hold on, dog. That math don't add. It's 10 of y'all, and I got 6 votes that like me. Somebody else is going.
Something ain't right.
Something ain't right.
Something smell rotten here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
Atlanta.
Hey, somebody didn't speak up for me.
Yeah. But so we know that the conversation that you had with Alicia did play a part in you going home. But the other thing too, which I was like, it was a bit much for me. So when you're sitting there talking to everybody, and you were talking to Joy, and you was like, "See, I did," and she was like, "Don't put your finger in my face." I was like, his finger's not in your face, though.
Like, he's animated. He's country. He talked with his hands.
I'm trying to tell you. Like, I ain't meaning nothing by it.
Right.
I mean, and you also, what people also didn't see is how close we were actually sitting. So it's like you sitting right here, you know. So I'm like, nah, and then and then it comes back to me like, oh, now what you ain't gonna do is put your. I didn't have it wasn't even like that. But me and her, as y'all seen, you know, I did apologize to her because once again, that was only the man in me, the gentleman in me that says, okay, this is where I be the bigger person and say, look, I apologize whether you felt it was wrong or whether, even if I didn't feel like I did anything wrong, I still apologized and just because sometimes you have to be the bigger person and say, hey, if that's what's going to get us past this, well, somebody has to, stand up and do it.
Right.
Yeah.
You said you guys talked on the reunion. You said you guys talked about that later. And even that you said you and Alicia talked about y'all situation. How did that conversation go?
Well, I mean, she understands. She understands that, and of course, she put her 2 cents in to clear up on her side, and it was just like, okay, well, yeah, we didn't just really get that deep into it, so but she get what I was trying to say though.
Gotcha.
That's good.
That's good.
That's good. So how I know you like what you about to say. I ain't gonna do that. So what's going on with you now? What you been up to now?
Of course, a lot of interviews. Right now, I'm building my website for my cookware because, of course, I'm not sure if y'all seen it, but it's cooking with the country boy.
Oh,
David from Ready to Love, because I do a lot of cooking, So I have a little, cookware line, little kitchen stuff, different type of things that I'll be selling online. Um, Man, I'm just basically just trying to build a brand and do more with what, with all these opportunities that's being, brought to me. And, hopefully be able to mentor to some younger kids out there, the guys, I mean, little girls, whoever, you know, um, and just really give back, you know, whether even if it's not money, but just giving a word to give back, that's giving a lot because it may be a word that they haven't had before, that could help them and let them see that, hey, you can do anything you put your mind to. I heard Steve Harvey speak, and he said it didn't really kick off or get jumping for him until he was like 35. Here I am, 37.
Right.
So that let me know I still had hope.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I still have a chance. So I just want to, like I say, just speak to, if I can mentor and I can give you the right word, I will. If I don't have it, I'll try to get the word, the answer, all of it from somebody. But we gonna get the answer to this.
Definitely. Definitely. So I guess a lot of people want to know this. What kind of girl is David looking for? Everybody want to know.
Woman.
A woman, excuse
What
me.
kind of
Well, what kind
woman?
of woman is David looking for?
Well, with
Because
that being said, with all of this going on right here, she definitely can't be jealous.
Right.
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 She has to be strong. Definitely. She has to be strong. But also, a woman is going to be behind me and have my back as well because, we as men, yeah, we are strong, but we also need a strong woman behind us, to give us that extra push to say, hey, get it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, and us be okay with that because we know that we do need you. So we're not going to act as though we don't need you. So, yeah, I would say, honest, loving, caring, not uptight, easy going, like to enjoy life. Just, like, not all these attitudes, just easy to talk to. Someone I can just, I guess how they say, live happily ever after.
Short, tall, slim, thick.
Not really a preference, but I like a nice little shape, nice little smile, pretty smile. Hard working. Don't mind grinding. We both going to go get it, to make it happen.
That's right.
yeah, that's what it's all about. Before we let you go, you share some of your social media handles. We have your Instagram. Where else can people, if they want to buy your cookware? I know you're working on your website. Where else could they find you on social media, or if they want to send something to you?
So the website isn't actually complete yet,
Okay.
but you can go to it, but it's not gonna have anything listed just as of right now. But that is gentlemenofhouston.com. You can go there and you'll see my whole logo with the beard and the cowboy hat. That would be me. You'll see that. Of course, you have the Instagram, gentlemen_of_Houston. It's actually the same on Facebook. You can also find me on Twitter at gentlemen of HOU. And just that's pretty much how you gonna find me. It's all there. Or even go to Google, as my mother say, I'm Googleable.
Oh yeah. How does that?
So
No, for real. That's different. When
you
that,
actually, yeah, she made that word up, and I just been rolling with it. I tell everybody, I'm Googleable now. That's
yeah.
my mama said.
My mama
that
said.
you Googleable.
Right, I'm Googleable. So yeah, now you can also Google David Dixon #Ready to Love.
Yeah. Did you feel like, man, you can Google me now? Okay.
It's weird. It's weird. It's because I had a woman actually approach me like that, and she was like, "Oh, don't worry about it." And she was joking, in the beginning of it because I was like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "So tell me a little bit about yourself," but she already knew who I was.
Oh
Like,
wow.
"Oh, I'm David." I didn't really say much, and I was just kind of like real short with her. And she was like, "Boy, don't play. I go Google you right now." I was like, "What, huh?"
Yeah.
She said, I'm about to find out everything I need to know. You ain't got to tell me nothing. Okay.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. So you can't hide now.
Nah.
That's one of the things people say, about you. Even when we watch you, you're a really fun-loving guy, man. Do you ever think about, maybe going to the comedic side of things? Because you always got a smile and you're always laughing, man.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, my whole thing is if I can make somebody laugh every day, I did my job.
Got you.
It's just me smiling and me seeing somebody else smiling, knowing I'm the one that put that smile there.
Yeah,
and I think that would make the fans who watched the show really kind of upset with the way you went home, because we didn't really get to see all of David because it was too short.
Right.
We didn't get to see the whole ins and outs of David, and the family member who would come for David, or who David with interest was on the show, because you went home early. And I think some fans feel like they got deprived because you went home.
They had already told me. I had messages talking about you went home. I ain't watching the show no more.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Yeah, they felt like they was deprived because they
like, I'm done. I was only watching it because it was you.
Oh wow! They was like, I don't care about none of them other people. It's all about you.
and I guess that's why nephew Tommy asked me. He was like, "So how you feel with all this social media love you getting?" And I'm like, I didn't expect it, but it's a wonderful feeling. I mean, and you know what? I love my people, my fans, because I didn't expect to get that type of feedback, but it's an awesome feeling.
And I think, from talking to you and what we learned about you from the show and talking to you now, I think it really takes somebody that's humble to handle all the fame that comes with it, whether it's 15 minutes or 15 years. So you just really, I see the humility, you just, like you said, good old country boy, gentleman, I'm gonna do right by you,
Yeah, I ain't gonna mess you over. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
No.
That's you
gonna let you down.
That's why I told y'all, feel free to ask me. It's me.
Yeah.
Do you ever sit there and think who it could have been if you had made it to the end? If you had made it to the end, who would you want to make it to the end with?
You say if I went in it again?
Yeah, no. If you had made it to the end of Ready to Love, you was there the last day, who would you want to be on the other side? Or,
well, you can't deny a connection when it's there. I mean, if you have a connection, you have a connection, and I really can't put anybody in there besides Alex, because we really had a connection. We had great conversation.
yeah.
So Alex, if you're listening, y'all got to connect to this date.
This is a cry out.
We gotta get this date on the books, man. Because if not, I'm telling you, when we posted that we were gonna do this interview, a friend of ours, I ain't gonna put her out there. She said she's gonna be watching. She said, "Let David know that I'm ready to love."
And you probably hear that a lot everywhere you go.
Right.
And then are people recognizing you when you go out? Like, oh, you David. Like, you David.
Even with the mask.
Yeah, with the mask.
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought I was hidden. You can see me.
It just shows you the power of people.
Now I'm like the real big celebrity. Now I'm walking around with a hood on in the summertime.
Hey man, but that's the thing about it. You're able to still be yourself and be who you are while you in town, and while you laughing and joking and just being you. And I think that's what everybody loved, because they can see the genuineness inside of you. Yeah.
So we about to wrap this up, but you talked about some things you had going on. But one thing we talked about before we started the interview was that you're going to be working on a book.
Yes, that is correct. I will be working on a book. The book is geared towards young men, young boys growing up and knowing the, I guess you would say, the pros when it comes to being a gentleman out here in this world, and the level of respect that you receive from that. So the book is going to be called The Perfect Gentleman. So it gives you, I guess you would say, the gentleman etiquette, letting you know about pulling out chairs, opening doors. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Just, basically a Southern gentleman as myself. showing people respect, just throughout the day, just life in general, and knowing where they can actually, how far it can get you being a gentleman. Because I've gained a lot of respect by respecting others and handling people as, they say, treat the janitor the same way you would treat anybody else.
Right.
He's human, she's human, So I that's what it's gonna have a lot of in that book. Be able to read that and pass the information on to someone else and let them know what you've learned from reading the book. But you will be able to purchase it once it's done. I will make sure that we have it online.
Gotcha.
So you'll be able to find it there.
That's good.
That's good, man.
When you were talking, we vibed on the PK thing. So, but when you were talking, it really made me think about the fact that the scripture says your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. And then also that you do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So I think that's an awesome lesson that young men these days do need to learn. With everything going on, especially young Black men, they need to know how to carry themselves. And even though, unfortunately, in the time that we live, you might carry yourself like a gentleman and somebody won't receive that, with all the social injustice that's going on. But it's good to have that foundation that I know I'm in the right. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm being gentlemanly and I'm treating people like I should. I'm holding my head up. I'm walking with respect. So that's
a lot of them don't even know. You walking down the road. I had a little lady friend of mine. We were walking down the road. She was on the wrong side. She was on the side. We were on the sidewalk. She's walking on the side with the traffic. I said, "Why are you over there?"
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "Oh." I didn't know men still knew anything about it. I was like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I said, so I'm gonna need you to get over here.
Yeah. See?
And that's a lost art. And again, it goes back to the point. There's a lot of men in our young men's lives. And books like that, things should be taught to our young men about being still a gentleman. In 2021, you can still be a gentleman. You can still be chivalrous. You can still be on that side of the street. You can still put your coat around her shoulders when it's cold. You can still open car doors, and you can still bring flowers even though you're not.
Off and give it to her,
Yeah.
Listen.
Even when you're not in the doghouse, you still bring flowers home.
Right. Just because.
Yeah.
They did nothing, but just because.
Just because. But now we're looking forward to the book, man. Looking forward to when it come out. Definitely be able to bless a lot of young people with that. So it's going to be a great. We're looking forward to it.
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to it as well.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Well, hey, time is up, man. I guess every question you got any more?
I don't. I just
Well, y'all know where to find me if y'all want to do this again.
Listen, and everybody, y'all out there, y'all know where to find David. Don't be sending them crazy DMs though.
That's right.
We're gonna teach you how to be a lady. He teaching the gentleman. We're gonna teach you how to be a lady, how you present yourself.
Hey, with David, man, we appreciate you for taking your time out. Appreciate you for joining us this evening. Just in final words, what would you like to share to all the listeners and all the fans out there?
Hold on, I didn't hear that real quick.
I said, what would you like to share? What would you like to share with all your listeners and all your fans out there?
Do you have a final word?
Do you have a final word to share?
Do I have a final word? Yes, I would like to say, man, I love all of y'all. Even the ones that don't love me, I love y'all too. And I thank every one of y'all for tuning in, whether it be Ready to Love, whether it be these interviews. Look, man, I want us all to be great.
Yeah.
Right. So no, but I just really do appreciate all the love, definitely. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for y'all. I wouldn't be here. So yeah.
That's cool, man. We appreciate you once again. Thanks for joining us. And ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification. And make sure you share this with someone else. Thank you, David, once again for being on with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
All right,
Our pleasure.
Our pleasure. It was our pleasure. See you next week.
Oh yeah. Y'all have a go.